Good morning, beloved community. Welcome to the Triangle Center for Spiritual Living, coming to you from Sophie's Grill and Bar in Cary, North Carolina. My name is Mary Ann Atwell Hardy, and I'm going to start our morning, as we always do, with a meditation. I'm going to do a reading. Then we're going to settle in and have about 15 minutes of quiet to help prepare us and to prepare the space for what comes next. So first, just settle in wherever you are. Take a deep breath. Slow your breathing down to 6 seconds in and 6 seconds out. Quieting the mind, quieting the body. And I'm going to do a reading today from Ernest Holmes on Love is the Essence of My Being. From 1 John 3, let us not love in word, neither in tongue, but in deed and in truth. Since God is love and God is the all in all, love must be the underlying principle of life and therefore in all. This life is my life. This love is me. It is the very essence of my being. Love heals everything, every imperfection of mind or body or environment. Love alone may overcome hatred, anger, envy, and criticism. Where love is, there is no room for any negative emotion. Love is the great adjuster. I know that love is harmony and peace and joy. In it is all good, all that is true, all that is beautiful. It is perfect balance, perfect poise. I empty my mind and heart of all but love. I let love express in me and through me. I let love flow into my world of thought and action. I am love. The love in me shines forth as harmony, peace, joy, freedom, and wisdom. Love binds me to the whole of creation. I find fulfillment through loving. What an amazing message. So carrying that love into your heart, breathing from your heart center, connecting with the breath that resides there, and letting it emanate to all corners of the space you're in, to all corners of the neighborhood, the area, the city, the country, the planet. Letting love fill this radiant space that is all there is. And sitting with that breath, breathing from your heart, slowly, radiantly. I invite you to close your eyes and get quiet and listen to the music and let that radiance pulse. the warmth that always accompanies that amazing feeling of love that we can radiate out into the universe. I invite you to very gently come back into the room. And if you're ready, you may open your eyes, seeing with the eyes of love all around you. I want to thank you for being part of our meditation to prepare our mind, body, and spirit to be open to what comes next and to be that loving presence in the world that we can carry forth. So we will resume at 10:45. Namaste.
Welcome, everyone, to the Triangle Center for Spiritual Living. Thank you all so very much for joining us in the room here at Sophie's Grill and Bar, or for inviting us into your homes, into your living rooms, your kitchens, wherever it is that you're watching us from. Thank you so very much. For those of you who might not know me, my name is Dusty Rippelmeyer, and I have the honor and the privilege of being the senior minister of this amazing community. We are part of a larger organization called Centers for Spiritual Living, and we believe that there is one power and presence in the universe, a power and presence that created everything that we see and everything that we cannot see, a power and presence that is benevolent, is always ready, willing, and able to support us, to guide us, to inform us, and to love us. We are connected to that power and presence in ways that can never be broken. And because we were created in its image and likeness, we too have the power to create. And in fact, we do create. We are creating the experiences of our lives consciously or unconsciously every single moment of our life. And that's a good news, because if we love our life, then continue to create in the ways that you have been creating. And if you're not so happy with the way that it's going, then we have the power to change it, to change our mind, to change our thoughts, to change our actions, and thereby change the experience that we are moving through. And so we gather together here on Sunday mornings, on Wednesday, on Zoom, for classes and for different social events, to support each other as we navigate this spiritual path that we're on. And so we are so grateful that you are joining us today. Thank you so very much. Speaking of thanking, I would love to thank Marianne Hardy, one of our licensed spiritual practitioners, for her beautiful meditation today, knowing that it expanded the container that our service will unfold within. And speaking of her, I would love to invite her back up to the podium, so please welcome her back again. Licensed spiritual practitioner, Marianne Hardy.
Good morning again, beloveds. Our theme for the month of October is Going Further Together. Rev Dusty's talk title for today is Share the Dream. I'm going to move over a little bit. Our purpose is to inspire. I'm going to read the community purpose statement, which is our reason for being here. Our purpose is to inspire, educate, and empower individuals to experience themselves as unique and individualized expressions of God, the love intelligence that governs the universe. We are committed to not merely a theoretical understanding of our oneness and unity with God, but to consciously practice this truth in our everyday lives. Through celebration, service, study, and fellowship, we are committed to the transformation of our personal lives and to being a powerful and beneficial presence on the planet. With the energy of unconditional love, simply, we are here for God. And now I invite you to settle in. Just slow your breathing down. 6 seconds in. 6 seconds out. And just let the sounds of the crystal bowls wash over you.
I now invite you to turn your attention back into the room, back into your bodies. It is now my pleasure to share with you a little of my journey. I recently celebrated my 7-year anniversary here at the center, and over that time, Carol Cross has been an amazing friend for me. I've been blessed to have her alongside me on our journey to become practitioners. And in the 2 years since graduating, over these uncertain and ever-changing times, you've graciously and consistently supported me in my roles here at the center and in my spiritual and personal growth. Throughout, I have experienced and witnessed the difference you've made in the lives of those around you. I've marveled over your caring nature, your joy and your passion, and the amazing talent and creativity that shines through your many roles in this human form. Your Technicolor personality dazzles as you bring the fabulous colors of your life into every room you enter. You are a gift to me, to our center, and to the world. I love you. Happy birthday, Carol. The Triangle Center for Spiritual Living honors the diversity and threads of truth that run through all spiritual paths, as represented by this ceremony. Please welcome Kennard, who will be assisting us this morning, one of our original center members. Thank you. Christianity is the path of Christ consciousness, love, and forgiveness. Buddhism is the path of compassion and understanding. Judaism is the ethical path of living by sacred law. Baha'i is the path of unity and peace. Islam is the path of submission to the will of God, the highest calling. Confucianism is the path of deliberate tradition. Taoism is the natural way, the path of ultimate reality. Native American practice and shamanic traditions are the paths of primal spirituality. Shintoism is the path of tribal ancestry. Hinduism is the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. Science of mind and spirit is the path of divine principle of love and law. And the heart represents the one heart, the one love that resides at the center of all people and all beings everywhere, with no exceptions. May peace prevail on earth through the followers of all paths. And so it is. Thank you. Now I invite you to turn within as I speak a word of blessing on the service. Recognizing in this sacred moment of gathering together this Sunday, the presence of Spirit, that one love, that one joy, that one presence that is always with us, surrounding us, flowing to and through all of us. I recognize my oneness with the Source, my unity with the Source, and I recognize that we are all one with it. I speak a word of blessing on today's service, on Reverend Dusty as she comes forward, speaking God's word into our hearts and into our minds. I speak a word of blessing on Cindy as she brings her gift of music, always so beautiful and always so uplifting. Speak a word of blessing on Mary Ann for her beautiful meditation that set the container for the service today, and for her service and presence. And I speak a word of blessing on Ava as she covers the AV and keeps us in the flow with technology. I speak a word of blessing on all of those here in person, all of those watching at home now, and all of those that will watch this service in time to come, knowing that there is only one, and that we are all blessed by the center, by the community that we have chosen to be a part of, and by these truths that we hold evident in our lives. I'm so grateful. Please anchor these words with me, and so it is. The reading for today is by Howard Thurman. He says, "Our dreams belong to us. They come full-blown out of the world in which we work and hope and carry on. They are not imposters. They are not foreign elements invading our world like some solitary comet from the outer reaches of space. No. Our dreams are our spirit, the vital part of us. They become for us the bearers of new possibility, the enlarged horizon, the great hope. Even as they romp among the stars, they come back to their place in our lives, bringing with them the radiance of the far heights, the lofty regions, and giving to all our days the lift and the magic of the stars." And speaking of stars, let's welcome the amazing, the beautiful Cindy Johnson.
Right back at you, Heather. We are the ones that we've been waiting for. We are the ones who will make a difference. We are the ones who will change the world. We are the ones, we are the ones, we are. I've been feeling like I can't make a difference. Been feeling like I ain't no use. Feeling tired and a little unconscious. Coming up with every kind of excuse. Till I realize it's not all up to me. When we join together, we shape our destiny. To see a world where we are living as one. It can be, it shall be, it will be done. We are the ones that we've been waiting for. We are the ones who will make a difference. We are the ones who will change the world. We are the ones, we are the ones, we are. No one else gonna make a change. No savior gonna drop from the sky. Nothing left to do but wake up, 'cause it's up to you and I to take it one step at a time. Stand together with your hand in mine. Then we will see a world that we've been dreaming about. We need it now. The time is now. There is no doubt. I am the one that I've been waiting for. I am the one who will make a difference. I am the one who will change the world. I am the one. I am. You are the one. You are. We are the ones. We are.
Woo, thank you so very much, Cindy Johnson. That was absolutely perfect for today. We truly are the ones. Good morning to those of you who may have just joined us. My talk title today is Share the Dream. And my first thought was actually a question. What do Rev Dr. Martin Luther King, the Miss World Beauty Pageant, Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, Rodney King, John Lennon, and Centers for Spiritual Living have in common?
Something about a dream.
So the answer, yes, Cindy, is that they all share a dream. They all share a dream. Now, I don't know if you've ever watched the Miss World Beauty Contest pageant or not, but after the crowning of the winner of the contest, all of the other contestants come back up onto the stage in a show of real sportsmanship. And they embrace one another, and they come together to sing together in harmony, the theme song, which is Light the Passion, Share the Dream. The lyrics are a celebration of the dream. Flame is the light, like a star in the sky. It will burn forever strong and light the way for you and I. We wish upon the stars that dreams will take us far, hope and peace in the world we all belong. Love we will share together, love forever we are one. One world, one dream, let us share our hearts together, all as one in a place where we join in harmony. One world, one dream. Let us celebrate the powers of our heroes who will rise with strength and pride. Time and time again they flex their power, spirit, and glory. Win or lose, they stood together high. Heart and souls unite together, bring the world to love one another. Reach for the sky, light the passion, share the dream, all as one. Now, one of the most important values that we have is to see the oneness in everything and in everyone. This means not only thinking that we are one, but actually living as one. The fundamental truth is that the external living of our lives is caused by our internal beingness. Our internal state of mind influences our own lives and the lives of everyone else around us. Ernest Holmes frequently said that we are all spiritual broadcast stations. That and when we acknowledge and recognize our oneness, we are doing our part in sharing the dream. As that spiritual broadcast station, we are doing our part in sharing the dream. And when we acknowledge and recognize the diversity of our divine communities, then we become witness to the great light as it shines through us. And this visceral experience changes all of us. John Lennon also had a similar dream. He sang about it in his often sung song, Imagine. The lyrics speak to oneness and living in peace. Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us, above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for hunger, greed or hunger, a brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us and the world will be as one. Now, what I believe about our dreams, about our visions, especially those that come from the depths of our being, is that they are God's dreams and visions for us first and foremost. Howard Thurman said that today in the reading. What I believe about our dreams, about our visions, even when we have no idea of how we're going to fulfill them, is that they have been inspired by the same force that created the universe. And that like the oak tree that is within the acorn, our dreams have everything within them that they need to be fulfilled. They only need the right conditions. They only need for us to welcome them. They only need for each of us to do what is ours to do. Rev Dr. Martin Luther King also had a similar dream. About that dream, he said, life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? Everybody can be great because anybody can serve. You don't have to have a college degree to serve. You don't have to make your subject and your verb agree to serve. You only need a heart full of grace, a soul generated by love. So the invitation is to love as God loves, with agape love, the love of one for many. The invitation is to give the world what we feel is missing. Love and peace are not merely distant dreams that we seek, but a means by which we arrive at that goal. A means by which we arrive at that goal. If we want more love on the planet, we have to be the presence of love. If we want more peace, we have to be more peaceful. There's a story about a man who was walking down an Oregon beach deep in prayer. He'd been contemplating universal peace and visualizing a world that works for everyone. Same dream. All of a sudden, the gray overcast parted, if you've ever been on an Oregon beach. The sun came out and a booming voice said, because you have been so selfless, I will grant you one wish. Taken by surprise, the man was like, build a bridge to Hawaii so I can drive over anytime I want to. God answered, your request is very materialistic. Think of the logistics of that kind of an undertaking, the support required to reach the bottom of the Pacific, the concrete and steel it would take. I can do it, but it will be hard for me to justify your desire for such worldly things. Take a little bit more time to think another wish, a wish that you think would honor and glorify me." The man thought for a long time and finally said, "God, I wish that all people would get along, that strife between the races would fall away, and that true equality would be found here on earth." After a few minutes, God said, "How many lanes do you want on that bridge?" Now, a very cute story, but not necessarily reflective of my beliefs about the infinite possibilities of the divine, not reflective of my beliefs about the infinite possibilities of the universe. So often, our depiction of the divine has more to do with our fears, our doubts, our worries, our ideas of lack and limitation, rather than the nature of the divine itself. I believe there is no big or small in God. I believe that anything is possible. Fear often rushes in when we begin to think about or dream about a new world. We begin to question our God-given intuition. We begin to question that dream that's knocking from within. The invitation is to remember that our intuition, our dream, is spirit-led. It's a call for us to take on the cloak of possibility. This can also be seen as a transmission of the light. Each of us is being asked to step into our own greatness, to create and evolve, to transform and transcend, and to be, as Ernest Holmes liked to say, open at the top. In doing so, we take up the mantle. We are personally responsible for how the world is around us. When each of us takes up the mantle, then we do our part to lift up that community conversation and to move the world into a higher expression of spirit through our actions. Our actions, however, can also hold back the dream, especially when they arise out of something other than that vision, other than that dream, when they arise out of fear or anger or doubt or worry or frustration, or out of the stories that no longer serve us. Rodney King asks, "Can't we all just get along?" The bottom line is that our actions, when we believe in our oneness, are very different from the actions that we would choose when we believe in separation. Now, a movie that I believe represents this idea is the movie Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, and the predecessor to that movie, just Maleficent. As I tell the story, listen for the actions. Listen for the underlying thoughts and beliefs and feelings that are behind them. Listen for what ultimately drives the healing. Listen for what smooths the rough spots, straightens the crooked way, and actually wins in the end. The 2014 live action reimagining presents Maleficent as a good-natured but tragic fairy who protects the Moors from the neighboring human kingdom. Now, the Moors is a realm of supernatural beings, including fairies and pixies and other woodland creatures. They're actually really quite cute. Prior to sporting her iconic black attire, Maleficent had a pair of feathery, really light, beautiful, feathery fairy wings. She always wore a brown dress, and her feet were bare, except for an anklet that she had around her left ankle. She was extraordinarily loving and gentle and kind. An important storyline in that first movie is that befriends and actually falls in love with a young peasant boy named Stefan. As they become adults, Maleficent is betrayed by Stefan, who uses iron, of all things, to burn off her wings so that he can ascend to the throne of the human kingdom. Now, this was decreed in a bounty that was declared by the dying King Henry because he had a vendetta or a grudge against Maleficent. Taking a raven named Diaval as a servant, a now hate-filled Maleficent names herself ruler of the Moors. And her outfit changes to a darker one. When she learns that Stefan is now king of the human kingdom and has had a newborn daughter named Aurora, she acts on the notion that true love is non-existent. And so she casts a curse or a spell on Aurora. And in order to really dig in with some revenge against Stefan, she makes the only way that this curse can be broken is by a kiss of true love. 3 pixies are assigned to take care of Aurora. But because they proved to be quite incompetent, they were, Maleficent ends up caring for her herself. And over time, she eventually develops a maternal affection for her. Now, that affection was true love. And it was that love that proved essential for the repentant Maleficent to undo her own curse. And she does that by kissing Aurora on the forehead. When Aurora wakes up from her sleep, she helps to find and then restore Maleficent's wings back to her. And just in time, because Stefan was attempting to kill her. But because she now had her wings back, she was able to use her powers to defeat Stefan. And this marked the end of the first movie. Anybody watch him? Yeah. How am I doing? Sound like the movie? Excellent. Now, in the second movie, 5 years have passed since Stefan, since his death. And Aurora has reigned as the Queen of the Moors, with Maleficent as her guardian and protector. Despite her service, the neighboring human kingdom called Ulstead, which is now home to Prince Philip after Stefan's death, deems Maleficent a villainess because of her role in the whole Aurora story. Right? One important backstory, especially for my talk today, is that while Prince Philip's father, King John, wished for peace throughout the land, his mother, Queen Ingrid, wanted nothing to do with peace. And she was secretly preparing for war. In the hidden areas of the castle, she had workers that were working night and day to make weapons and ammunition made out of iron which, as we found out, is deadly to all of the fairies. Another storyline is the relationship between Prince Philip, and Aurora. They have since met, and fell in love. Diaval, Maleficent's raven and confidant, Philip proposing to Aurora, and he tells Maleficent about it. She goes to Aurora, and she's very much against the idea, and she advises against the union, but Aurora vows to prove her wrong, and they're moving forward on it. So in honor of the upcoming wedding, Philip's parents host an intimate dinner, and they invite Maleficent and Diaval and Aurora to come to this dinner, along with, of course, King John and Prince Philip. Maleficent struggles to maintain her composure throughout the entire dinner party because Queen Ingrid continues to keep taunting her. And she continues to keep trying to provoke her by saying things like the material bond that she has with Aurora is nothing. She just dismisses it. And she literally tells her that after the wedding, that she herself, Queen Ingrid, would be Aurora's true mother, which makes Maleficent crazed, right? And so she reacts with this really, by unleashing a burst of magical energy out into the room. Now, almost immediately, all of a sudden, King John falls out. He faints. And so, of course, Queen power, her magic is so powerful. So while all of this is happening outside of the castle, Aurora discovers that it was Queen Ingrid herself that put the curse on King John by using Maleficent's old spindle, the spindle that she originally used with Aurora in the first movie. She confronts Ingrid, who reveals that she has always had an absolute hatred of all more fairy folk. And that she bitterly resents the prosperity that the Moor had while her kingdom was suffering. She also blames them for her brother's death. Lots of blame, lots of anger, lots of revenge, lots of all kinds of actions going on here. Because of this, she plots to eradicate all the fairies and the woodland beings by using these iron weapons. She also gets one of the de-winged fairies that she has working for her, a guy named Lickspittle, to develop a lethal crimson powder. When the Moor folk come for the wedding, they're ushered into the castle chapel, and then they are locked in. They are held captive. And at Ingrid's command, Gerda, remember Gerda, unleashes the deadly crimson powder by playing the organ. They have it set up so that it comes out of the organ pipes. At last resort, one of those fairies, the incompetent ones, a fairy named Fiddle, selfishly sacrifices herself to one by clogging the organ with her own body, right? And rendering it unplayable. While that is happening, her friends, remember there was 3 of them, Knotgrass and Thistlewit, cause Gerda to fall to her death. The Dark Fae then launch an assault on Ulstead, but the palace guards begin massacring everyone. It's a nightmare. Until Maleficent, channeling all of her phoenix powers, joins the battle. She nearly kills Ingrid, but Aurora really appeals to her underlying humanity, convinces her not to kill her, and then Aurora declares that Maleficent is her only mother. So while she's distracted, however, with all of that going on, Ingrid fires her crossbow at Aurora. So now Maleficent has to stand in the way of that, and so she saves Aurora, but she's struck by the arrow, and she dissolves into ashes. Pile of ashes. Aurora grieves for Maleficent, and her tears of grief, the tears of love, fall onto the ashes, and out of the ashes, like a phoenix rising, Maleficent rises up, stronger than ever, because of love. Horrified and infuriated, Ingrid throws Aurora off the tower to ultimately kill her, prompting Maleficent to once again save her. Never fear, they turn Ingrid into a goat at the end. Now, at this time, Prince Philip, forges peace between the fairies and the humans, and the Ulstead soldiers stand down. Maleficent totally destroys the spindle, and the curse is broken, and King John wakes up. And when he wakes up, he says, "I have dreamt of this moment all my life." 2 kingdoms united at last. Prince Philip says, "From this day on, we move forward to find our way in peace together." Aurora says, "Today there will be a wedding, not the union of 2 people, but the union of 2 kingdoms. All are invited. All are safe. All are welcome. As the wedding finally begins with both kingdoms represented, the officiate says, we are here to join two kingdoms divided by fear, today united by love. This dream, this vision is so in alignment with our CSL global vision. That global vision that says we see a world that works for everyone, where all life is honored as expressions of the divine, where people live in accordance to spiritual truth, where humanity awakens to its spiritual magnificence, where humanity rediscovers personal creative power, where we live as one global family, where kinship with all life prospers, where unity and connection is emphasized, where forgiveness is the norm, where spiritual guidance is valued, where we are called to conscious social action, where people have enough food, homes, and a sense of belonging, where there is peace, harmony, and justice for all, where reserves are valued, cared for, and shared, where communities are meaningfully involved in service to the world, and where there is a renewed emphasis on beauty, nature, creativity, art, and aesthetics. The global vision is our inspiration from God. Thank you, Howard Thurman. Our inspiration from God, from our inner divinity, from our inner wisdom. Life is asking us to deliver something greater than we have ever created before. It might in this moment feel to be a little too big, that it might actually be impossible. Too often we mistrust our inspiration from God, entertaining both doubt and worry about how to get there. Instead of moving forward in welcoming this vision, we may be asking, how many lanes would we like on that bridge to Hawaii? King John, Prince Philip, Aurora, and Conall all shared a dream, and they never gave up on it. Throughout their lives, they held that vision in their hearts. They took up the mantle. They gave what was missing. They did what was theirs to do, and ultimately, it became their experience. When we put Spirit first, honor our oneness, and lean into faith, we take positive action in our activities. When we put love first and step into leading from that space, we are able to create something that is truly evolutionary, something that truly transcends anything that we have ever had before. We create a dream that we all share. A world that works for everyone. And so it is. And so it is. Thank you all. Thank you all so very much. I invite you to please turn within, to return again to that center of our being that Heather so beautifully created, that spark of the divine, that unconditional love, that peace that passes all understanding. I know that it is who and what we all are. That truly we are all divine emanations of the divine, ambassadors of its presence on the planet. That we are spiritual beings having a human incarnation, and as such can never be separate from that golden thread of God stuff that weaves itself throughout all of life, connected one to the other in ways that can never be broken. And it is from that place of unity, that deep and abiding to one another, to all things, to all sentient beings on these words about and for each of us this morning. Truly knowing that we all have a dream within us, a dream that is God-inspired, a dream that really contains all that it needs to be fulfilled. That all we need to do is to make it welcome, to prepare the space, to do what is ours to do, to bring it forward, to keep our eyes, our hearts singularly focused on it, to know beyond a shadow of a doubt that anything is possible, and that even while our human perceptions might be telling us otherwise, that forces are working behind the scenes to bring everything together that is necessary for the completion, for the attainment, for the demonstration of that dream, of that vision. And so I claim ease and grace for each of us around welcoming it, being it, allowing it in, claiming it, declaring it, recognizing our oneness with everyone, so that we are all in alignment, so that we can bring it forward together. Like the Moors and the people of Ulstead, like all of the contestants in the Miss World Beauty Pageant, coming together to harmoniously sing at the end. Like Rev Dr. Martin Luther King and John Lennon and Rodney King, knowing love is the answer. That peace can be attained when we allow love to enter the room before us, to allow it to smooth out those rough spots, straighten the crooked ones, and to ultimately win in the end. I believe in us. I know that we are the ones that Cindy spoke about. To bring forward that global vision of a world that works for everyone. And I'm so grateful to know this truth and to speak these words. So grateful for the power of prayer, knowing that these words are loosed into a law that only ever says yes. That my words are clothed in form even as they are spoken, and so I speak them and I release them with love and gratitude. Letting go and letting God be God, I invite each of us to anchor this prayer for ourselves, for each other, for our community, and for the world, simply by saying, and so it is, and so it is. Amen. It is now time for our conscious giving. Now, at this moment, the Triangle Center for Spiritual Living is sustained by the giving of our time, talent, and treasure. This is the time every week when we offer financial support to assist this community to be a beacon of light and love for ourselves and others. Together we affirm the truth that today's offering lifts this spiritual community, prospers the one giving, and contributes to the experience of sufficiency on the planet. There are several ways that you can give. Visit our website at www.trianglecsl.org. There's a button up in the upper right-hand corner, or text the word GIVE using the following number, 919-230-8445, or you can mail your gift to our office, the PO Box 4062, Cary, North Carolina 27519. Please place your hand on your heart and with your gift or with an intention, and let's say our offering affirmation as a call and response. I live in an abundant universe that blesses and prospers my life. An abundant universe that blesses and prospers my life. I give with gratitude, knowing God is my source. And so it is. And so it is. And now, please join me as we welcome the amazing Cindy Johnson back to her piano.
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us. Above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religions too. Imagine all the people living life in peace, with skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright blessed day and the dark sacred night. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people strolling by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? I really think they're saying, I love you. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will be as one. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you needful greed or hunger. Yes, a brotherhood of man. I hear babies crying, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think it could be such a wonderful world. Imagine just imagine.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Spirit.
Thank you so much. If you would like prayer, please go to our website at trianglecsl.org. On the homepage, there's a button in the upper right-hand corner. Click on that button and fill in the request form. That prayer will be sent out to all the ministers and practitioners. If you would like to dedicate a flower dedication to anyone for anything, please send an email to info@trianglecsl.org or dustyrippelmeyer@yahoo.com. Wednesday, October 20th. Put it in your calendar. There's two amazing things to do. First, of course, is our regular Wednesday.
Prosperity by delving deeply into Edwin Gaines' book, The 4 Spiritual Laws of Prosperity. The second is to join Desi here at Sophie's Grill and Bar for a wine tasting. The evening begins at 6 p.m. They will be pairing a variety of really amazing wines from the country of Georgia with 4 brand new appetizers for $20. Come and join the fun. It's less than now till our bingo night. It is Friday, October 22nd from 6:30 to 9:30, and it will be held at the Lodge at Crossroads. Please RSVP through an email to info@trianglecsl.org so that we can plan accordingly. We hope you can come and join us for an evening of fun. Now, please join us for our October affirmations. This is a call and response, so please say it with meaning and repeat after me. I am a whole, perfect, and complete expression of God.
I am a whole, perfect, and complete expression of God.
I am the presence of divine love wherever I am.
I am the presence of divine love wherever I am.
My calling is to deepen my connection with everything and everyone.
My calling is to deepen my connection with everything and everyone.
When we all attune ourselves to our spiritual magnificence, we are free to effectively serve the world.
We are free to effectively serve the world.
When we all take up the mantle, we create the divine community.
When we all take up
When we all do our part, we move the world to a higher expression of spirit. As we grow further together, the world brightens. And so it is. Woo! Now, if you would turn within once again, speak a word of benediction on today's service. Recognizing that one source that runs through all of creation and knowing our unity with that source. I am so grateful for this service today, for the music and for the message, for the community that has come out to be in person here, and for all of those at home watching. I am so grateful, and so it is.
Thank you all so very much for your presence here at Sophie's today and for inviting us into your homes. Happy birthday, Carol Cross. Everybody have a really wonderful, wonderful week. I love you all very much.